Today on the channel, we've got a visionary with the Ultimate Edition, Seth Rollins.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we've got the visionary. We've got Seth Rollins, but for all your Seth Rollins and Ultimate Edition needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And today, we're taking a look at Seth Rollins' first Ultimate Edition. Have to assume we might get a few more Ultimate Editions before things are all said and done for Seth Rollins. But this is his first one, and this is one I'm a little bit excited about because I really did like the soft goods jacket on this one, so I can't wait to see how that feels out of the package here. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's see what old Seth Rollins is up to. Big window box as we're accustomed to with the Ultimate Editions. We got extra hands, got the soft goods, and of course we got extra heads here for Seth Rollins. Choose your own head adventure in full display right here. We got Ultimate Edition down low. Seth Rollins with a little cunning smile right there, looking good. On the side, Seth Rollins. Then on the back, I always love the back. I love that we get the action figure shot, and then we get a in-ring glamour shot. We get that. We get the tail of tape. We get the blurb. Let's see what's going on with old Seth Rollins. And, of course, Andre the Giant is his wave mate, I guess we'll call it here. And we unboxed Andre on the channel. Check out that review. Let's see. Seth Rollins, height 6'1". I'm not so sure about that. As you guys know, I've met Seth a few times over the years in the local indies back here. And of course, he is from Davenport, Iowa, right down the road. I was just in Davenport a week ago or so. I would say beautiful this time of year, but unfortunately, Davenport is underwater right now as the Mississippi River is flooding. So hopefully the Black and Brave Academy, his gym and coffee shops, hopefully they're all okay. They're not being flooded as we speak. Finisher, the Stomp, career highlights, Universal Champion. He is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. He is Seth Rollins, and he is determined to be the greatest superstar in history. The WWE Universe can't help but sing his song when Seth Rollins turns up the heat inside the ring, ready to burn it down. And of course, like I said, long history of Seth Rollins around the Iowa indie scene, way back in the day, way back when I was late teens into college, I guess early college, something like that. But of course, Seth Rollins was around here, and I would have never guessed, and that's the way it goes in wrestling. Who's got the heart? Who's got the hustle? Seth Rollins had both of those. Of course, Tyler Black back then. But I never thought he would be the one out of the whole indie scene. There was a lot of great wrestlers at the time in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, let's call it. There was a lot of great wrestlers in the indie scene around this area at the time. Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas City, still a lot of good talent to this day. But Seth Rollins is one I wouldn't peg for that, but you know what? He never stopped, never gave up, and he traveled. That's one thing I see with a lot of the indie workers, especially in our area, my area here. There's a lot of great talent, but they don't take that next step. Whether they choose, they don't want to, maybe they have another job, something like that. I get all that. But he was willing to bet on himself, head out to, Ring of Honor, make a name for himself all over to eventually get to the WWE. And a lot of talent, I think, is pigeonholed that way because they won't take that next step. They won't travel. They won't take that risk to see what if. Seth Rollins did do that. So you got to give call it out there and give him the credit where credit is due, definitely. But let's read the back, or I guess we already read the back, so let's get into the figure here. Always love these little Easter eggs on the packaging here. Let's see what it says here. The Visionary. And then we got Burn It Down. So makes a lot of sense to get those two. I think I could see that being there. Off to the side, gentle. As gentle as a gentle see you later could be, I guess. Uh-oh, we lost a hand. A hand in the package fell out, but we do get one hand there. Lots of hands here. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of hands for Seth Rollins. The hands have it right here for sure. And I can see a lot of people wanting multiples of this Seth Rollins because you got extra heads, extra hands, one with the jacket on, one with the jacket off. There's a lot of choose your own adventure here, of course. See you later, goodbye. And it's always weird to me how some hands are buckled in, some hands are not buckled in. I never quite understood that. I guess they don't want them falling out of the package. I do get that, but still, they fell out of the package. So, very strange. But he's got the big old Ricochet hands buckled down. They don't want those going anywhere. Those Ricochet hands, we know how that goes. Can I get him? Geez, hard enough to get out of here. I'm going through the front on that. There we go. Now we're getting here. Business, picking up. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you later. See you later. All right, now we're off to the races here. We're going to dive into this Seth Rollins. We're going to start with the hands. We'll start there. It's a good place to start, I think. Now we do get the magical, mystical hands on him, the magical mystery tour hands, we'll call them. Of course, Randy Orton hands as well as we know them, but we've seen these before, but these are pretty good, I think, for this one. That's where I'm leaning on going for my hands. Love to see the two fists of Fury. You got to have some fists. He does have those. We got the Ricochet long open hands here. Another good one to use with Seth Rollins figures as well. So I like those. And then he does have two gripping hands out of the package. So truly, you can mix and match, do whatever you want. He's got every hand under the sun, it seems like here. And then the real game changer of this one, absolutely love it. I love a good robe going back to the Ric Flair days. This one is awesome. Very cool. Looks almost like stained glass, like a church window or something here. But very cool design, very bright, very colorful. Love the orange and black. Of course, Seth Rollins, little known fact, huge fan of the G.I. Joe Tiger Force sub-team. Huge fan of the Tiger Force. We went orange and black here in the fur, but love the fur. Love the real fur feel. Looks good. Of course, you can wrap this around. Got the waist wrap. Just a beautiful, beautiful robe. Absolutely do love this one. You know, if you're not going to get another one of these to have two, one off or one on, you could always put this, have him just in his ring gear here, and you could put this on a basic. You could put this on another elite. You can really mix and match some of your accessories if you really wanted to. But very, very nice robe here. One of the best robes Mattel has ever done. I got to be honest. Maybe it's not as iconic as some of the Ric Flair robes, but man, for how it looks and how it feels in hand, definitely an awesome robe right there. Now we get down to head sculpts here, and I think we've seen most of these before. The one on him is very stoic, very plain Jane Seth Rollins head sculpt here. Just kind of looking like he's just there. It just looks like he's got some bad news or something. Doesn't know whether to cry, laugh, or smile. He's just kind of stoic, and that's what we have there. Then we do get an extra head here, and which is this one? He's got the teeth kind of showing, just the top teeth going there. An interesting one. I'm not sure. It definitely looks like Seth Rollins. All these look like Seth Rollins. I'm just not sure if I'm sold on this. I would have liked to see a little bit of bottom teeth in this. It just looks like he's kind of doing one of those, and it looks a little bit strange, but you do got the long hair going there on both of these for Seth Rollins. So there's two heads. And then the third head is probably where I'm leaning to go. Oh, man. I really was leaning towards this one. He's got the open mouth. I like what I see here. I see both sets of teeth, the top and the bottom. You see the tongue. But on his nose, I got some red paint on his nose. Two different spots of red paint. So that's pretty unfortunate there. So that's where I was leaning. I was leaning towards using this head. So I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to do. Maybe I can get some acetone or some nail polish remover and just gently get that off there. Hopefully that is the case. But man, that is a little bit disappointing. We never want smudges on the face of our figures. The face is your moneymaker at the end of the day. Let me tell you, made a lot of dollars off this face over the years, or something like that. But definitely an interesting head sculpt. But I do like this one the best. Unfortunately, mine has some paint on your nose, on the nose. Your mileage, of course, may vary on that one. But let's walk through Seth Rollins. Let's walk through the ultimate articulation here. You got the big butterfly shoulders looking good. Arms going to go all the way around for us. Bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows. I'm here for that. Hands back forth, side to side. Maybe it's just me, but these hands look a tad big. And I've been seeing that more and more lately. I don't think anything's changed. Maybe my just perception of hand size has changed. I don't know. But the hands do seem a little bit big on here. Got the hula hoop at the top. Nice flexibility there. Really like all that movement. Side to side at the waist, of course. Those big old Seth Rollins splits being done right there. And then you do get the drop down hips. Very dangerous and very splitting the fandom, I guess, out there on the drop down hips. Some people really do love them because you can get a nice wide leg up for a big boot, for example. But some people don't like them because sometimes they do break off. Sometimes they do weaken the legs a little bit. I am actually not a huge fan of that articulation. I would rather have better ankle movement than the drop down hips. Everybody will vary on what they feel there, but that's definitely my opinion. But we do have that here. You do get the thigh cut. Double jointed knees, you do get a boot cut, and then you get the ankles back and forth. Then you get that McFarlane-esque toe articulation. Got to have that there. Very cool paint design on the pants here, on the tights. all over the place with the different colors. Looks like a 90s store called Gadzooks back in the day. Anybody remember Gadzooks? Kind of reminds me of that kind of theme going there. We do got some chest hair on Seth Rollins. Man, it would have been great to have that real fur chest hair, huh? When I did talk to Mattel and had a great conversation with all the Mattel guys there at the Superstore, Robert, Steve, Bill McKenna, I did float it out there, so get me that real fur chest hair, give me that real fur, and they looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. But come on, there's precedent. Jax did it. Let's do it for in the Ruthless Aggression line if we have to. Anyways, I don't think I'd want it all the time, but I think as a one-off, I think it would be really cool, really funny. Do it with George Steele. Do it with somebody like that. I'd love to see a real fur wrestling figure once again. Just tongue-in-cheek. I think it would be cool. We'll see what happens with that. But all around, not a bad Seth Rollins. You got the knee pads on here that match the whole gear. Definitely a stylish gear. A lot of decor, a lot of colors to this one. Love a good colorful figure. That's what we get with Seth Rollins here. Looking really nice. It is going to be tough, though. You got to choose your own adventure. Which hands do you put on? Do you put the robe on? No robe. And then which head do you use? So a ton of questions. Got to figure that out for myself. You got to figure that out for yourself as well. But have to think this will be fairly popular. And like I said, Andre the Giant was in this wave with him. I love the idea of a current superstar and a legend superstar. I like that yin and yang between the two. I think that's the way they should go going forward. We'll see how that goes. But he does fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand for those keeping track at home. Fits perfectly right there. I love how that looks. Just an all-around good Seth Rollins. It feels really good in hand as well. No loose joints, no issues with that. Just a nice, tight, compact Seth Rollins. Looks like Seth Rollins. Great decor. Can't ask for much more. I guess you could ask for a different outfit for him, but for me, this definitely does work. I do got the Andre the Giant right here side by side, so you can see that difference between these two figures. Definitely felt like you got more bang for your buck for the Andre the Giant. I love the robe, but Andre got a ton of hands, special hands for him, new to the line. You got that title belt, you got soft goods t-shirt, you got a bigger figure. At the end of the day, he feels more bang for his buck just because he's so much bigger. But this Seth Rollins, it'll be interesting. I think they're neck and neck popularity. There's a lot of old school collectors that want Andre, but there's a lot of new school and everyday collectors that want Seth Rollins. It's a pretty good wave, a little bit of something for everybody between these two figures, in all honesty here. I did grab another Seth Rollins there, and Seth gets all kind of inventive stuff. Of course, this rubber jacket, very interesting one. Some people are reporting this jacket is starting to break down in the plastic. I don't know if it's because I'm in a basement here and it's temperature controlled, all that kind of stuff. There's no sunlight in here. Maybe that keeps that a little bit cleaner than others. I don't know, but we do have that there, so you can kind of compare these two. Can the heads come off on this one? Oh, what do you know? Heads pop off. We could do a little mixing and matching too if you really wanted to. You could pop the heads off, choose back and forth. So you could probably pop this head on here, I would imagine. There you go. So if you want this Seth Rollins to be short hair, you really want to make it different, you could do that. And of course, you could plop this head over here to Seth Rollins, and bam, all right, you're changing everything, you're mixing and matching, you're moving and shaking, that's what you're doing right there. So there's really a lot of stuff you can do with the Seth Rollins figure, and of course there's no shortage of Seth Rollins figures out at retail, so you can buy any of those, mix and match. Really fun for hardcore Seth Rollins fans. If you're a hardcore Seth fan, you might need 2 or 3 of these to just mix up and match and do some different things with. Very, very cool figure at the end of the day, and a very cool ultimate set at the end of the day. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What are your thoughts on this Seth Rollins? Picking it up, passing, playing the long game. Need 10 of them? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to this very YouTube channel, as we're unboxing everything under the sun and then some. Yes, and then some right here on this very YouTube channel. And of course, don't forget about the Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it, a ton going on every single day on this Patreon channel. Over 100 videos on Patreon that are not on YouTube right now. A lot going on over there, and of course, as I always say, best of all, it is the best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget about social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the Ultimate Edition, Seth Rollins, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.